3. Rebellion or insurrection how committed. A coup d'etat how committed. Penalty for rebellion, insurrection or coup d'etat. Conspiracy and proposal to commit coup d'etat, rebellion or insurrection. Disloyalty of public officers or employees. Inciting a rebellion or insurrection. Sedition how committed. Penalty for sedition. Conspiracy to commit sedition. Inciting to sedition. Act tending to prevent the meeting of Congress and similar bodies. Disturbance of proceedings. Violation of parliamentary immunity. Illegal assemblies. Illegal associations. Direct assault. Indirect assault. Disobedience to summons issued by the National Assembly, its committees or subordinates, subcommittees by the Constitutional Commission, its committees, subcommittees or divisions. Resistance and disobedience to a person in authority of the agents of such persons in authority and agents of persons in the in authority who shall be deemed as such. Stop there. Tumults and other disturbance of public orders. Tumultuous disturbance or interruption liable to cause disturbance. Unlawful use of means of publication and unlawful alterances. Alarms and scandals. Delivery of prisoners from jail. Evasion of service of sentence. Evasion of service of sentence on the accusation of disturbance and conflagrations, earthquakes, or other calamity. Other cases of evasion of service of sentence. Commission of another crime during service of penalty imposed for another offense penalty. Title 4. Title 4, crimes against public interest. Counterfeiting the Great Seal of the government. Using forged signature of or counterfeit seal or stamp, and making and importing and uttering false coins, and mutilation of coins, importation and alterance of mutilate coins, sealing of false or mutilate coin without connivance, forging treasury or banknotes, counterfeiting, importing and uttering instrument not payable to bearer. How forgery is committed. Falsification of legislative documents, and falsification by public officer, employee, or notary or ecclesiastical ecclesiastical minister, falsification by private individual and use of fa- falsified documents, the falsification of wireless, cable, telegraph and telephone, false medical certificates, false certificates of merits of service, using false certificates, manufacturing or and possession of instrument of implementation of falsification, usurpation of authority or official functions, using fictitious name and concealing true name, illegal use of uniform or insignia, false testimony against a defendant, false testimony favorable to the defendants, false testimony in civil cases, false testimony in other cases, and perjury in solemn affirmation. Yun. Offering false testimony, machinations in public actions, substanding and altering trademark, trade names or service marks, unfair competition, fraudulent registration of trademark. Ano di? Title 6, Crimes Against Public Morals. What acts are punishable in gambling? Importation, sale, and possession of lottery tickets or advertisement. Betting in sports contests. Illegal betting on horse race. Illegal cockfighting. Grave scandal. Immoral doctrines. Absence of publication and exhibition and indecent shows, and prostitutes penalty. Title 7, Crimes Committed by Public Officer. Knowingly rendering unjust judgment, judgment rendered through negligence, unjust interlocutory order, malicious delay in the administration of justice, betrayal of trust by an attorney or solicitor, direct bribery, indirect bribery, qualified bribery, corruption of public officials, frauds against the public treasury and similar offenses, other frauds, prohibited transaction, possession of prohibited interest by a public officer, failure to make delivery of public funds or property, failure to make delivery of public funds or property, officers included in preceding provisions, conniving with or consisting to evasion through negligence, and escape of prisoner under the custody of a person not a public officer, removal, concealment, or destruction of documents, officer breaking seal, opening of closed documents, revelation of secrets by an officer, public officer revealing secrets of private individuals, open disobedience, refusal of assistance, refusal to discharge elective office, maltreatment of prisoners, anticipation of duties of a public office, prolonging performance of duties and powers, abandon of office or position, usurpation of legislative powers, usurpation of executive functions, abuses against chastity or penalty. Title 8. Title 8. Crimes against person. Parricide, death or physical injuries inflicted under exceptional circumstance, murder, homicide, penalty for frustrated parricide, murder or homicide, death caused in tumultuous affray, physical injuries inflicted in a tumultuous affray, giving assistance to suicide, discharge of firearms, infanticide, intentional abortion, unintentional abortion, abortion practiced by the woman herself or by her parents, abortion practiced by physician or midwife, and dispensing of abortives. Responsibility of participants in a duel, challenging to a duel, mutilation, serious physical injuries, administering injurious substances or beverage, less serious physical injury, slight physical injuries and maltreatment, rape when committed, penalties, effect of pardon, and presumption. Title 9. Crimes against personal liberty and security. Kidnapping and serious illegal detention, slight legal detention, unlawful arrest, kidnapping and failure to return a minor, inducing a minor to abandon his home, slavery, exploitation of child labor, service rendered under compulsion and payment of debt, abandon of person in danger and abandon of one's own victim, abandoning a minor, abandonment of minor by person, exploitation of minors, additional penalties for other offenses, qualified trespass to dwelling, other forms of trespass, grave threats, light threats, bound for good behavior, other light threats, grave coercion, light coercion, discovering secrets through seizure of correspondence and revealing secrets with abuse of office, revelation of industrial secrets. Title 10. Crimes against property. Who are guilty of robbery with violence against or intimidation of persons, penalties, definition of ban penalty, crimes against property. Who are guilty of robbery with violence against or intimidation of person, penalties, definition of a ban and penalty incurred by the members thereof, execution of deeds by means of violence or intimidation, robbery in a inhabited house of public building or edifice devoted to worship, robbery in uninhabited place and by a ban. Robbery is an uninhabited place or in a private building. Robbery or cereal fruits or firewood in a uninhabited place or private building. False key, who are brigands, penalty, aiding in abetting band of brigands who are liable for theft, penalties, qualified thief, altering boundaries or landmarks, fraudulent insolvency, swindling, estafa, other forms of swindling in minor, other deceits, removal, sale of pledge of mortgage property, destructive arson, other forms of arson, cases of arson not included in preceding articles. Cases where death resulted as a consequence of arson, prima facie evidence of arson, who are liable for malicious mischief, special cases of malicious mischief, other mischief, damage and obstruction to means of communication, destroying or damaging statues, public monuments or paintings, persons exempted from criminal liability. Title 11, Crimes Against Property, chastity, who are guilty of adultery, concubinage, when a how rape is committed, qualified seduction, simple seduction, corruption of minor, white slave trade, forcible abduction, consented abduction, prosecution of the crimes of adultery, concubinage, seduction, abduction, rape, and acts of lasciviousness. And Title 12, Crimes Against the Civil Statute of Persons, simulation of birth, substitution of one child for another, and concealment for abandon of a legitimate child, usurpation of civil status, bigamy, marriage contract against provision of laws, performance of illegal marriage ceremony. Then Title 13, Crimes Against Honor, definition of libel, requirements for publicity. Libel means writing or similar means, threatening to publish and offer to present such publication for a compensation. Slander by dead persons responsible, proof of the truth, libelous remarks, incriminating innocent person, intriguing against honor.